get your mind right and make this work. Let's go to work. Come on, everything you got, last round, everything you got. Go get it, go get it.
All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Grand Canyon University's renovated softball stadium. We have the 2 o'clock game in the Lopes Up Classic of 2018. We've got the Lopes taking on the South Dakota Coyotes. My name's Paul Denuser, and I'm here with JP Saar, and we've got a beautiful day for a ball game, JP.
Yep, 75 degrees and sunny in this beautiful Phoenix weather. We were talking about it just a couple moments ago. I'm sure South Dakota's loving being here as it's 41 degrees in Sioux Falls right now.
Man, that is awesome. I played college baseball up in Minnesota. I was talking to you before. And anyway, we've got our first batter of the game. Grounding out to shortstop, that's Alyssa Fernandez, the second baseman of the Coyotes. She grounds out to Shea Smith, 6-3 on the putout.
Beautiful Friday afternoon here in Phoenix. We just saw Dan Marley walk in, sitting in the crowds, just behind the third base line.
Yeah, absolutely. These coaches support one another. He's there with associate head coach Todd Lee. All right, we've got the Coyotes from South Dakota. And again, the first pitch from Bobo is a strike, fouled off to behind home plate. Real quick, the lineup for the Coyotes. They start with second baseman Alyssa Fernandez, followed up by center fielder Camille Fowler, the designated player Emily Winkler. First baseman, batting cleanup, is Jamie Holscher. Third base, batting fifth, is Lauren E. Miguel. The catcher is Jessica Rogers, batting sixth. Batting seventh, the right fielder Ashton Blakeman. Batting eighth, left fielder Christy Warnock. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, is Dylan Underwood. Line drive right to Maddie Dowdle in left. 2 quick outs registered by the Lopes on defense. Bobo in the circle for the Lopes.
Number 8, Emily Winkler.
The batters you really got to look out for on South Dakota are the 3-4-5 hitters. We're seeing the first one here, Emily Winkler batting at 327. Then you got Jamie Holscher batting 333 and Lauren E. Miguel at 289. They're going to be the meat of the order for these Coyotes, and definitely someone Bobo's going to have to work her way around.
Tell you what, the Coyotes are 4-13 on the season, but they've played a very ambitious early schedule. They've played some of the big powers in women's softball, so they're going to be competitive. It's going to be a good test for the Lopes. Again, 2 outs in the top of the first. And a slow grounder to short, and Shea Smith on to first base. So after the top of the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, and we've got the Lopes coming up.
Get the best gear to show off your Lope pride. Go to lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel to the coolest accessories. Use promo code GCUTV20 to get 20% off for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple. Lopes up. Dan Marley's got some Lopes gear on. I'm sure he may have got that one from Lope's shop.
Tell you what, I'll bet his closet is full of purple apparel. All right, for the Coyotes, Sarah Lisko is the starting pitcher today. She's a left-hander. She's 0-3 on the season with a 7.25 ERA. Lineup for the Lopes, we've got Shea Smith leading off. She plays shortstop. Second baseman Lorianne Olson bats second. Designated player batting third is Nikki Gonzalez. Third baseman Sierra Smith batting cleanup. Lainey Gomez, the center fielder, is batting fifth. First baseman Bianca Bowling is sixth in the order. She's followed by left fielder Maddie Dowdle. Kenzie Hill is the catcher, batting eighth. And playing right field, batting ninth, is Taylor Kay. Again, the designated player and pitcher, or correction, flex and pitcher, is Bobo Bocage.
Lopes coming off a huge tournament last weekend at the GCU Purple Classic. Scored a ton of runs over those 6 games, a 6-game sweep, including one of those wins being a 16-0. And I'm sure that's what they're looking for here in this Lopes Up Classic, is just to continue that offensive power and scoring all those runs.
Absolutely, and I believe from that weekend they had the WAC pitcher and hitter of the week.
Yeah, Shea Smith was the whack hitter of the week, and Bocage got pitcher of the week. She had a couple great outings there in that weekend against Houston Baptist.
That's good to see. The Lopes needed that after a tough opening week, taking on the likes of national champion Oklahoma. And we've got a bunt just off the pitcher's rubber. She's not able to pick it up. Lisco can't make the play, and Shea Smith is on at first.
Such a solid weapon Shea Smith is. I think even if the pitcher was able to grab that, I don't think she would have beat her out. Shea Smith got a great jump on that. It was a perfectly placed bunt. That's a good way for the Lopes to start this game off.
And speed never takes a slump, so we've got a runner on first and Shea Smith. Now the second baseman, Lorianne Olson. Let's see what she does. She squares to bunt, pops up to third baseman, but there's a near collision between the third baseman and the catcher, and she drops the ball. It's Lauren E. Miguel on the air.
Yeah, poor communication there between E. Miguel and her catcher, Rogers. Rogers kind of landed on E. Miguel's ankle, and she came up a little.
Tell you what, that's a tougher play than it looks. When you're trying to communicate looking up into this bright blue sky and bright sunshine. And we've got a left-handed catcher for the Coyotes. That's a little unusual. But new life for Lorianne Olson. Shea Smith gets that good lead at first base. And again, we've got a 1-1 count to Lorianne Olson. Let's go with the windup, the delivery. Runs up and takes a strike. 1 and 2 on Lorianne Olson. Coach Pearson calling the signals from way beyond the third base coaching box. Lorianne takes a pitch outside, 2-2. No outs. This thing is just underway. No score, bottom of the first. Lopes have their leadoff runner on first. Lorianne Olson with a 2-2 count. And she taps one that Coach Pearson fields. Foul ball. Extends the at-bat. Again, the Lopes 9-8 on the season under the direction of head coach Ann Pearson. Her assistants, Christy Musser, Kelsey Monroe. And we've got a ground ball to short. Takes a short one to second base. Fielder's choice, 6-4 on the putout.
Smart play by E. Miguel, but solid at-bat for Lorianne Olson. Really worked the count there, forced a lot of pitches. She did a great job. Got the ground ball she needed. Just a little too much power on it. Didn't give Shea Smith enough time to get to second.
Absolutely. And now we have the designated player, Nikki Gonzalez. 298 hitter on the year. Little pop in front of the catcher. Rolls foul for a strike. All right, 0-1 on Nikki Gonzalez. Let's see if she can move the run around. Squares to bunt, but we all know number 3 hitter in softball probably not going to put that ball on the ground. Pitch high and inside for a ball, 1-1. So what do you think, JP? What do you call on this?
Got to tell her to swing away. Nikki Gonzalez had a home
line
run last
shot
weekend.
right up the middle. Sorry about that, JP.
No, you're good. Nikki Gonzalez had one of the home runs for the Lopes last weekend. She's having a solid year so far. Batting .298.
That at bat should push her up above 300. Now we've got the cleanup hitter with runners on first and second. We've got third baseman Sierra Smith. Identical stats with her twin sister, which may not be surprising. Both of them hitting .411 on the season. First pitch a little up and out for a ball. Again, the Lopes with a good opportunity to put some runs on the board in the bottom of the first inning. Let's go. Wind up in the pitch. Looked like a little off-speed delivery, a little bit low. 2-0. Umpiring this afternoon's game, behind the plate, Joe Coates. First base, Michael Hernandez. And at third base, Dale Wilson. 2-0. Good hitters count. Smith takes a strong swing, just misses. 2-1. Let's go, the wind and the pitch. Little pop up to the left field side. Out of play. Evens up the count at 2-2.
Sierra Smith, same stats as her sister, but she's got her beat on the RBIs and home runs number. Got 3 more RBIs on the season with 15.
That's pretty good in 17 games. Think they have a little friendly competition?
Of course they do.
And a line shot left center. Center fielder makes a great catch. That's Camille Fowler. Heading well to her right in left center field for the second out.
Fowler did a good job shielding off the sun, really striding her way across left center. We saw last game when UNLV Mercy ruled Princeton, beat him in the top of the 7th. A lot of the outfielders had a tough time shielding off the sun. Saw a couple misplayed fly balls.
Absolutely not uncommon. And now batting is the center fielder, Lainey Gomez, a .296 hitter on the season. Again, an opportunity to drive in a run with a base hit. 2 outs, bottom of the first, no score. Runners on first and second. Pitch just outside. Joe Coates took a nice long look at that. 1-1 on Lainey Gomez. Good time for a clutch hit. Ooh. Well, pitch looked like a breaking ball, came up a little high and in. 2-1 on Gomez. Obviously, with 2 outs on contact, the runners will be running hard. Ball in the gap could bring in 2. Kind of a check swing. Pitch on the inside corner. That evens the count at 2-2. 2's across the board. Bottom of the first, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base. Time for a knock. Swing, and that is a line drive right to the left fielder. Coach Pearson is sending the runner home. We've got to play at the plate. Safe at home, safe at third. Aggressive base running on the Lopes. Lorianne Olson scoring from second on the play. Nikki Gonzalez, great base running to third. And Lainey Gomez with the RBI single, now at second base.
Love the call by Coach Pearson. Very aggressive base running. Sets the tone to the game early on that says we're here to score some runs and we're here to win the game. Great job by Coach Pearson sending.
Absolutely. And in that, it takes a perfect throw to get her out at home. It's a good throw, but not quite perfect. Great base running all around for the Lopes. And now batting 6th, we've got the first baseman, Bianca Bowling. Again, clutch opportunity. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. First pitch was a strike to Bianca. And the second pitch on the outside corner. She takes a look. Joe Coates calls that a strike. So Sarah Lisco with an early advantage on Bowling. Again, runners at second and third. And the line shot just over third base. And that hook's foul. That would have brought in 2. The ESPN anchor, John Anderson, always says, 2 out hits will get you to heaven. Of course, we know that's not entirely true, but 2 out hits are the mark of a good ball player. Again, Bowling. 2-strike delivery, grounded hard to second base. Alyssa Fernandez on to first. And that's it at the bottom of the first. The Lopes get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. After 1 complete, GCU 1, South Dakota 0.
My name is Anthony Perez, and I earned my master's in education at Grand Canyon University. I feel that the degree program at GCU definitely got me ready and prepared to reach both short and long-term goals. It's definitely prepared me to lead my classroom and also be a teacher leader to find innovative ways of solving the problems in education in the state of Arizona. I'm definitely committed to student success, and so I'm very passionate about working with students. What I absolutely love is when they get that spark in their eye and they understand a concept. When I have those moments is making it all worthwhile in everything that I'm doing. Grand Canyon University definitely has a vibrant campus that has many resources that are accessible. I feel that GCU has prepared me to be an agent of change so that way I can support and advocate on behalf of children in the state of Arizona.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
All right, we are back for the top of the second inning. The Lopes turned a 2-out single into a run at the bottom of the first to take a 1-0 lead. Bobo went 3 up and 3 down facing the Coyotes. And now we have the cleanup hitter, the first baseman, Jamie Holscher. And she swings at that first pitch, and lines one just foul down the right field line. That would have been extra bases.
Didn't miss by much, just a couple of feet there. Slicing just a bit foul.
That's one of those things that you see a right-handed hitter, the right-handed pitcher, when she goes the opposite way, a lot of times it does slice. In this case, fortunately for the Lopes, just foul. So 0-1, Bobo wind up in the pitch, inside and low, evens the count at 1. Bobo's 5-4 in the season with a 3.65 ERA entering the game. They'll be a little bit lower after this first inning. That pitch on the outside corner, fastball for a strike. Beautiful pitch. Bobo with the 1-2 count in her favor. The windup in the pitch. Strike 3. Pitch may have been a little bit out of the strike zone, but with 2 strikes, you got to protect. So that's Bobo's first strikeout of the day. And that brings up the third baseman, Lauren E. Miguel.
Holscher just took a cut at it with 2 strikes. One of the better hitters for the Coyotes, but she does have the more strikeouts than anyone on the team.
And that first pitch grounded to short. Shea Smith with the play. Oh, just beat it out. Shea Smith with a strong throw, but E. Miguel gets the first hit of the day for the Coyotes.
Good call by the first base umpire there. Just beat out the throw, but a great effort by Shea Smith to get that one and gun it all the way across the infield.
Well, it sure was. They're so quick on that catch and release. Now with the runner on first, we had the catcher, Jessica Rogers. Again, a little ironic. She throws left-handed, bats right-handed. That first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Up in the count early, 0-1. And that pitch lined to left field just beyond the reach of Shea Smith. That could have been a double play if she makes that catch and a throw to first, but a hard shot. Tough play for Shea Smith.
Hit real hard just off the tip of her glove. Didn't get her arm extended enough in that one.
That's a tough one.
Trickles out to the outfield. Absolutely.
That was a hard hit ball, and these infielders are not that far away from home plate. So we've got a little bit of a threat going on here, first and second. 1 out, and now the batter's right fielder, Ashton Blakeman. Bobo's in a little bit of a jam. Let's see if she can get out of it. First pitch, inside corner for a strike. Looked like a little curveball on that. And we've got a little meeting at the mound. That may have been a little miscommunication on that, possibly.
Bringing in the whole infield. Just getting on the same page here. Smart move by Bobo.
Absolutely. You can see the veteran leadership here. Slopes are well coached. They want to make sure that nothing comes as a surprise. 0-1. And the pitch, ground ball to second base. Slowly hit. Tags the runner at second. No other play. So we've got a fielder's choice on that. E. Miguel gets the third. 4 unassisted if you're scoring at home. Fielder's choice. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. And now we've got the left fielder, Christy Warnock.
Smart running there by Jessica Rogers. Just kind of blocked out Lorianne Olson. Didn't let her tag her quickly and then get the ball to first. Gave Blakeman enough time to Get on first.
Well, we've got a pinch hitter coming in, number 6, Taylor Steinfeld. Kind of unusual this early in the ball game. Maybe there was an injury. Number 6, Taylor Steinfeld. First pitch is swung on and missed. 0-1.
Steinfeld has made a lot of appearances, has the most at-bats on this South Dakota team. So she's used to being at the plate.
Sorry about that, JP. Second pitch is outside.
367 on the year with 7 RBIs. She's got an opportunity to get one more now.
Absolutely. First and third with 2 outs. 1-1 on Steinfeld. See what Bobo can do. That pitch just outside. Again, Joe Coates took a long look at that. 2-1 on Steinfeld. Dylan Underwood, the shortstop, is on deck. Hopefully she'll lead off the top of the third. And the pitch, line to center, right at Lainey Gomez. She makes the catch to end the inning. There was a threat. 2 runners left on base with no runs, 2 hits. After 1.5, Lopes 1, Coyotes 0.
The annual Run to Fight Children's Cancer is next Saturday, March 10th. Register for the 5K or 10K online at runtofightcancer.com. All proceeds are donated directly to the Phoenix Children's Hospital and Children's Cancer Network.
Leading off the bottom of the second for the Lopes, number 4, Maddie Dowdle.
Maddie Dowdle leading off. GCU just working on some substitutions up here in the press box. That pinch hitter kind of shuffled some things around for the Coyotes.
Can you see if she stayed in left field?
I cannot see that from here. We will find out shortly.
Absolutely. All right, Maddie Dowdell, the left fielder, lining one to left field, but that just goes foul. Leading off the bottom of the second, once again, Lopes with a 1-0 lead. Sarah Lisko on the mound for the Coyotes. And again, joining us over here on the left field side, the members of the women's volleyball team, bringing lots of signs, supporting their fellow student athletes here. I don't think anything has to do with just sitting around Thunder Dan Marley. Dowdle with a fly ball to left field. That's caught right along the left field line for the first out of the second inning.
And the substitution, Christy Warnock, she moved over to right, and Blakeman was the one that fielded that one out in left. Little switcheroo in the outfield.
We like those early inning switches. All right, now batting for the Lopes, the catcher, Kenzie Hill. I'm sure Kenzie would like to get the bat going this spring. She's batting .207 so far early in the season. That first pitch low and outside for a ball. Looked like an off-speed delivery to start her off. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Lopes with the 1-0 lead. What do you think, JP? Number 8 hitter starting off with a changeup. As she goes for that next pitch, flies to left. Easy catch.
That one out. Kenzie Hill playing the catcher position today. We've seen her and Nikki Gonzalez switch back and forth between designated player and catcher. Nikki Gonzalez is the designated player today. They normally switch off game to game, so we'll probably see Nikki Gonzalez behind the plate against Princeton later on today.
Perfect. We know that they followed this game up with a 4:30 game against Princeton. Right now, the right fielder, Taylor Kay, she squares the bunt, hits right to the third baseman. Lauren E. Miguel with a strong throw and gets her out at first base. So 3 up and 3 down for the Lopes in the bottom of the second. After 2 complete, Lopes 1, Coyotes 0.
I'm Christian Talon, and I'm earning my bachelor's in information technology at Grand Canyon University. I really wanted to be able to integrate my faith and career, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to go to GCU. One of my favorite ways to do that is by being a part of the life groups on campus. It's a great place to come and study the Bible and have that community experience. Cyber threats are a growing problem for companies and individuals alike. A lot of resources online are under scrutiny of attack. I found it my purpose to try and help businesses and Christian foundations and defend themselves against those attacks. One of the great benefits of going to GCU is that we as students get access to the state-of-the-art IT labs that the university is setting up for us. I really feel like the professors at GCU have invested in me personally. They're always encouraging and providing me with the resources to further my own education and really just grow my interest and passion for technology.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/IT.
And we're back with the top of the third inning. And after two complete, the Lopes have a 1-0 lead over the Coyotes. And leading off the bottom of the third for the Coyotes is the shortstop, Dylan Underwood. Left-handed hitter. Bobo through 2 innings, giving up a couple of hits, a strikeout, but no runs. That pitch must have been a little bit high. It looked like it well on the inside corner. 2-0. Bobo behind the hitter after a couple of pitches. The windup and the pitch. That also inside, probably a little high. 3-0. Definitely the hitter's count here. See if she takes a strike. Usually the number 9 hitter, you want to see as many pitches as you can, and when you have this advantage, you want to take a strike before you swing. And that one is low and outside, a 4-pitch walk for the number 9 hitter. And now with the runner on first, the leadoff batter, second baseman, Alyssa Fernandez. Alyssa's from Mesa, Arizona. She went to Red Mountain High School. You see, we have quite a few members of the Coyotes with a Valley connection. We'll try to identify those throughout the game today. Swing and a miss and a strong throw to first. Underwood is back safely. 0-1.
Kenzie Hill, just a smart catcher. Doesn't let a lot get by her. It's hard to be a runner against Kenzie Hill.
Tell you what, that was a nice strong throw right on the bag. And the windup, the pitch, high and outside. Of course, for the catcher with the right-handed hitter, you've got that clear path to first base. Strong arm. 1-1's the count on Fernandez. That pitch, again, a little bit inside, a little low. Bobo's having a little bit of a struggle finding that strike zone. 2-1 after a 4-pitch walk. So 6 balls, 1 strike this inning. Let's see if she can find that stroke. There it is, fly ball to right center. Taylor K camps under it, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. With 1 out, the center fielder, Camille Fowler. Camille flew out to left, her first at bat. 0-1 on the day.
Camille Fowler scored the winning run this morning in South Dakota's 1-0 win over UNLV.
And taking a look, their pitcher threw a shutout and had the game-winning hit.
Yep. Dusty Durham went 7 innings pitched, had the RBI single. Sure we'll see her again later this tournament, maybe against the Lopes Sunday.
Absolutely. That makes for a nice day. Pitch a shutout and collect the game-winning hit. Sure she feels good. That's, again, the 4th win on the season for the Coyotes. 0-1 to Fowler. Runner on first, 1 out. The windup and the pitch. Oh, runner is going. Great throw to second base. She is out. Dylan Underwood caught stealing. That went 2-4 on the putout. Great throw by Kenzie Hill. And Lorianne Olson put on the tag. 2 outs.
Like I said, must be tough to be a runner against Kenzie Hill. Just so smart, knows the heads-up play, and is a solid thrower. He's able to gun down anyone from any base.
Absolutely. And Fowler with the 2-hopper to shortstop. That's an easy play for Shea Smith. Strong throw to end out the inning. So again, for the Coyotes in the top of the third, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. After 2.5, Lopes 1, Coyotes 0.
You're invited to the WAC tournament at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. Catch all 14 games March 7th through the 10th. Tickets are available at gculopes.com. Seeds 1 and 8 are set so far, but 2 through 7 are still up for grabs. A lot of shifting going around there. I'm sure the Lopes want to be on the good end of the shifting.
Absolutely. This weekend is going to be big for about 4 or 5 of the teams in the Western Athletic Conference. I know the Lopes were disappointed. They had a 3-game losing streak, but we've kind of forgotten about that the last couple of home games against a couple of very good teams who are ahead of them in the standings. And the Lopes are hoping to roll into that WAC tournament. First time eligible.
It'll be fun. I know a lot of Havocs are headed out there to Vegas. Got a lot of free tickets to go to that WAC tournament, so it should be an exciting first postseason tournament for GCU.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, I'm still waiting for my invitation on a free ticket, but I guess I'm going to have to teach my classes on those days. All right, we're back here at the bottom of the third. We're having a great day. It's a beautiful day for a ball game. Bottom of the third, we are going back to the top of the order. Shortstop, Shea Smith. She looks at that first pitch from Sarah Lisco. Outside corner for a called strike.
Yeah, the 7-8-9 hitters didn't do a great job last inning in the bottom of the second. A 5-pitch inning for Lisco.
Pitchers love that. Sorry, JP. Pitchers love that when they get out, get those 3 quick outs. That pitch is high to Shea Smith. Evens the count at 1-1. Tell you what, Lisco's 0-3 on the season with a 7+ ERA, but she's looking pretty sharp after the first couple innings. That pitch is in there and it's fouled down the left field line. And Lisco with the 1-2 advantage over Shea Smith. Shea had a bunt single her first time up in the first inning. She was forced at second. Swings at that inside delivery, fouls it off. And joining the women's volleyball team, I see over here is head coach Tim Nolan.
Yep.
Once again, the coaches here do a great job supporting each other.
They absolutely do. We see them all over the place when we're broadcasting sports, seeing coaches from all of the programs. Earlier this year, we saw the softball team at a lot of women's basketball games. We saw them at some volleyball games. It's definitely a fun environment.
That absolutely is. And I tell you what, the softball team, they got some characters out there.
They do.
They have some fun when they're out there rooting
at those
on
men's
the other teams.
volleyball games. It's a good time for them.
Tell you what, I wouldn't want to be an opposing player over there. And that pitch is high and outside. Evens count at 2-2. And I think the other teams really appreciate that. And again, you see that all across the board. Shea Smith, 3-2, the payoff delivery. Fouled straight back. Just missed. And you can tell when that pitch is fouled straight back, the hitter just is underneath it. Again, Shea with a +400 batting average. It's a pretty nice hitter to have leading off your order. And the pitch, line drive, left field, that drops in front of the left fielder. Lakeman gets it in.
Another single for Shea Smith. Doing a great job getting on base early. I'm sure she's hoping not to have Lorianne Olson ground into a fielder's choice this time. I'm sure she wants to find her way around the bags and get another run for the Lopes.
Exactly. She likes to run those bases. So Lorianne Olson is the batter. Squares takes a look at that first pitch. That's outside for ball 1. Again, her first at bat in the first inning, Lorianne grounded to shortstop. They took the short out for the force play at second. She was able to beat the throw to first. Left-handed hitter. Squares, drops it right in front of the plate. Joe Colts calls that one foul, or correction.
That one looked like it was sitting in the circle a little bit still. He initially called it foul.
Not quite sure. He called her out automatically. Coach Pearson asks about it. Evidently okay with the explanation. First out of the inning. Now Nikki Gonzalez, the designated player.
Oh, she laid down the bunt. 2-strike bunt.
There you go. So that would be considered a strikeout then.
Which is even worse than it being fair because Shea had to go back to first.
Exactly.
Tough break for the Lopes there. Game of inches.
Absolutely. And that is Sarah Lisko's first strikeout of the day.
She has 28 innings pitched so far this year, but only 4 strikeouts, 5 now. So not a high strikeout pitcher, but finds a way to get the job done.
Absolutely. Oh, that ball's lined down the left field line. Foul. Good swing at that pitch. And again, Nikki's a good hitter, so hard to fool her on that. And again, when you've got only 5 strikeouts, you're probably more pitch to contact. Again, especially looking at some of the other pitches that we faced this year with great velocity. She doesn't throw overly hard. Pitch low and outside. Lorianne Olson with the lead, but she's back to first without a throw. 1-2. Again, 1 out, bottom of the 3rd. Fast-moving ball game so far. And a little point that will be of interest to probably nobody in the listening audience, but Sarah Lisko, born in Rochester, or is from Rochester, Minnesota. That's my hometown as well. So yes, nobody seems to
You
care.
familiar with Mayo High School?
I am. I went to John Marshall, and Mayo, of course, named for the Mayo family, was the rival school.
Ooh.
And I remember their school was round, very unusual. And I'm sure we're enthralling the listeners right now with our anecdotes. And again, we have 2-2 to Nikki Gonzalez, 1 out. Lorianne Olson, the runner at first. And the pitch, ground ball to short. Again, goes a short way. Dylan Underwood to Alyssa Fernandez for the force. Second out of the inning.
Another fielder's choice gets Shea Smith out. Nikki Gonzalez will reach base, but 2 outs for Sierra Smith.
Number 3.
They scored their run last inning on a 2-out single.
So again, that clutch hit, that's what we're looking for. As the Coyotes enter the ring, just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page again. First at bat, Sierra flew to center fielder. Made a nice play on that fly ball, kind of in the gap. This time it'd be nice to get a gapper. Let's bring that runner in for the second run of the day.
She's going to need a lot more than a RBI single to score Nikki Gonzalez this time. Going to need a triple and maybe even a home run. Sierra Smith tied for the lead on the Lopes in home runs. She's got 2. Or she's second. Lopes have high home run hitters. Sierra Smith's at 2, joined by Nikki Gonzalez, Lainey Gomez, and Bianca Bowling. And Maddie Dowdle leads the way with 3 home runs.
Tell you what, you get that at this level, there's so much about bat speed. And you make contact. We've got fences about 200 feet away from home plate. You get that ball up in the air, good things can happen.
Yep, 3 of them happened last week on Friday night in a game against Houston Baptist. It was a very windy night. All 3 hitters went to right field just using the wind and got that home run to go. I think that was Nikki Gonzalez, Bianca Bowling, and Lainey Gomez got those home runs.
Nice. Of course, the hitters aren't thinking that it's wind-aided. Probably would have gone out even without the wind, right?
Yep. Bianca Bowling's was a bomb. The other 2 were hit very well as well.
And the
That was
pitch.
a good one.
Left field, and
Great play by Blakeman.
Ashton Blakeman makes a great catch just beyond the foul line. And that's going to wrap up the bottom of the 3rd for the Lopes. They did get a hit, a couple of fielders' choices, no runs on the board. So after 3 complete, Lopes still with a 1-0 lead.
GCU is the university that never sleeps, moving at the speed of light, so we can give our students the competitive edge they need to succeed. And now, GCU is leading in the areas of computer science and IT. We prepare students to meet the demands of the fastest growing industry through our innovative IT programs in our College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. Using the latest real-world tools and an adaptive curriculum, GCU gives students the education they need today to excel in their careers tomorrow. Join the most inventive concept in education right now and position yourself for a future in the expanding world of IT. GCU offers fast-track options with courses in cybersecurity, cloud computing, systems architecture, and business analytics. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/IT.
All right, we're back here at GCU Softball Stadium, here on GCU TV. Glad to be with you. I'm Paul Deneuser along with JP Saar. We're watching a heck of a ball game so far. The South Dakota Coyotes, even though they have a record of 4-13 on the season, they're playing very competitively against the Lopes, who are 9-8. Bobo's first pitch of the fourth inning is in for a strike.
Volleyball team having a good time creating a lot of noise down there.
Boy,
They've got a strike 1, strike 2, and strike 3 sign.
Nice. I tell you what, how can you not have a great time?
Yeah.
It's a Friday afternoon, beautiful day, coming out and supporting their friends. Emily Winkler, the batter, with a 1-1 count. Bobo, the windup and the pitch, low and inside for ball 2.
Winkler grounded out in the first inning, part of the opening 1-2-3 for Bobo.
That was a good, strong first inning. After 3, she's only given up a couple of hits, so she's getting the balls in play, and her fielders are doing a great job making those plays.
She's doing it quick, too. 34 pitches only for her. 38 now, but doing a great job early in this game, just keeping her pitch count low.
And again, on the 3-1 count, now that's fouled off the right field fence. And again, those quick pitch at-bats, that's an advantage for everybody. Keeps the fielders sharp. They don't sit back with a pitcher throwing a lot of balls and kind of losing focus. Everybody is right there, right along the way. The windup and the pitch popped up to right field, and an easy catch for Taylor Kay.
And you need to stay sharp in a game like this, a 1-0 game when there's not a lot of room for error. One mistake can almost cost you the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, Coach Pearson's team is so well coached. They don't make a lot of mental mistakes. So right now we've got the first baseman, Jamie Holscher, up to bat, struck out to lead off the second inning. And that first pitch line right up the middle. Base hit for Jamie Holscher. Right back from whence it came. And that brings up the third baseman, Lauren E. Miguel. And again, another one of the local ball players. Lauren is from Mesa, but she went to St. Mary's High School. And the pitch, outside corner for a strike. Tough to do much of anything with that low outside pitch. Probably, especially the first pitch at the bat, best thing to do is just take a look at it.
Absolutely. Holscher wouldn't say so.
Ooh. And that pitch high and outside. Evens count at 1. Lauren E. Miguel had an infield hit, her first at bat in the second inning. 1 for 1 on the day. And the pitch. Line drive just beyond Lorianne Olson's reach. Goes into right center field, and Lainey Gomez makes the throw. So advances the runner to second. And again, Coyotes have a threat. Runners at first and second with only 1 out.
Hard hit ball. Great play by Lorianne Olson there.
I tell you what, especially with that fast outfield, if that gets by her, that's extra bases, and that could be trouble.
Possibly a run.
No question. So we've got a meeting at the mound. Pitching coach comes out to just kind of make sure everybody's on play. With runners at first and second and 1 out, chances for a bunt. And again, what might happen in that particular situation.
Pinch runner in second. 3.
Pinch runner coming in on second. Lauren King, a pitcher normally, but got some speed out of Seattle, Washington, the freshman.
Absolutely. And again, like you had said before, JP, in a close game like this, 1 or 2 plays can really make the difference. So South Dakota could be playing for a run or 2 right now, see if they can get that advantage. Again, Jessica Rogers, the catcher. Jessica's a junior from Lincoln, Nebraska. Takes first pitch low and inside for a ball. Again, with situations like this, you like to get ahead of the hitters. put them on the defensive a little bit, create any advantage that you can get. Bobo's in a little bit of a jam, first and second. That pitch, curveball is in for a strike. Nice pitch. Low and inside again, tough to do anything with that.
It's important for Bobo. She's going to try to keep the ball inside and keep it low. You want to force a ground ball here, hoping for a double play to end the inning. They had an electric triple play last week.
That pitch is lined up the middle. It is a base hit, and that loads up the bases. 3 straight singles for the Coyotes. And again, with a shorter field like that, even a base hit into the outfield, it's tough to advance the runner from second all the way home. So 3 consecutive hits loads the bases for the Coyotes. And we've got Ashton Blakeman, who started off as the right fielder, moved over to left, is the batter, left-handed hitter. Again, this is a clutch opportunity for the hitter. Big time for the pitcher and the defense. What are we going to do? That first pitch, low and outside for ball 1.
This is also a huge at-bat for Bobo because you got to look ahead in the order. You don't want to let Steinfeld come up the plate. She's such a powerful hitter. Got 367 so far on the year.
Pitch. Sorry, JP. That pitch is fouled behind home plate.
Steinfeld with 3 home runs, so you don't want to let Blakeman get on and score a couple runs and then have a power hitter come into the plate batting in the 9 spot.
Exactly. That changes things a lot when you get a good hitter up there with runners on base. Again, 1-1 is the count. The pitch. That's in there for a strike. Tough take by Blackman. Now she's got a 1-2 disadvantage with her at bat. Again, let's see what Bobo can do. Looks in for the sign. She likes the call. Wind up and the pitch. Ooh, soft ground ball to Shea Smith is through her legs. That's going to be an error 6. Everybody advances. And that's the first run of the day for the Coyotes.
That's a tough play. You don't see Shea Smith making a lot of errors like that. But not the best base running by E. Miguel. She was caught in between third and home. Initially saw the ball go through Shea Smith's legs, started taking off for home, couldn't decide, couldn't commit. And when Lainey Gomez had some trouble getting the ball out in center, she almost went again, but then held it up. Tough play by E. Miguel, but bases are loaded for Steinfeld.
Exactly. And again, a break, surprisingly, for the Lopes on that. Bases still loaded. That first pitch low and inside for a ball. Again, when you consider an error with the bases loaded, maybe tried to make that throw to home too quickly. Gotta secure the ball first before you can make the throw. Shea's a veteran, she knows that. That second pitch in for a strike on the outside corner. Evens the count at 1. Again, a little bit of tension here. Bases loaded, 1 out. 1 run already in a 1-1 game. And the pitch fouled towards the on-deck circle. Bobo with the 1-2 advantage. Strikeout would be big here.
Strikeout would be big. Get this batter out. Bring up Dylan Underwood, the 9-hole batter.
And also with that, if you get that strikeout, then any kind of out, whether it's a pop-up, fly ball, and that is fly deep to center field. That's way back, and that's off the wall, and it is a ground rule double. Laney wasn't able to make that catch. That's a big break. That's a big break for the Coyotes. A tough break for the Lopes.
2 RBI double for Steinfeld. Gets her 9th RBI of the year. And the Lopes trail 3-1 here in the 4th.
And again, you called it, JP. Power hitter in that spot in the lineup. That's a big play for the Coyotes. And that brings about a pitching change. Coming in for the Lopes in a relief situation is number 18, Mariah Valencia. Mariah is a senior from Phoenix. No stranger to pressure situations. And again, that 1-0 Lopes lead quickly is gone. And again, in the top of the 4th inning, Coyotes started off with a fly ball to right field, and then 3 consecutive singles, an error, and a double has led to a big inning for the Coyotes.
They're still threatening runners on second and third with only 1 out. Got Dylan Underwood up to plate. She walked last time. Was caught stealing. Mariah Valencia, of course, she was probably warming up pregame, but she did not have any action in the bullpen.
Yeah, surprised to see that. I didn't see her warming up at all. That first pitch, swing and a miss. Mariah is 0-2 on the season with a 4.50 ERA. She's coming in a tough situation with 2 runners in scoring position. Again, 1 out for the Coyotes. Wind up in the pitch, and that's just tossed over shortstop. Runners coming in, and there's no play at the plate. Oh boy. And now
no one's in right.
Dylan Underwood had a wide lead around first base, tried to pick her off, and instead throws the ball away. So that single now turns into a runner at third.
Lopes is just throwing the ball around here in the fourth, making some uncommon errors. We were talking about it earlier in this inning, how they're so well coached, so well disciplined. Not looking like it here in this top of the 4th inning.
Absolutely. Boy, just that little beautiful hit for Underwood when she just lifted it over shortstop. No play. And instead of having that runner at first, now she's at third. Once again, only 1 out in the inning, 5 runs in. 5 hits, a couple of errors have really hurt the Lopes' cause. And now that brings up the top of the order. We're 2 hitters away from batting around. So Alyssa Fernandez, the second baseman, is coming up for the 3rd time now already in the 4th inning. Well, hopefully these are the kinds of things that shake the Lopes up a little bit. They say, you know, they got to play some good softball here, even against the team that's 4-13. Sometimes those records can be deceiving.
Maybe it can wake the bats up for the Lopes. They only have 4 hits so far in this game through 3 innings.
Exactly. And again, the pitcher for sorry, JP.
No, you're good.
Pitcher for the Coyotes came in with a losing record, high ERA, but she's the one shutting down the opponents. Need to get a couple outs here, Lopes. Wind up in the pitch inside. 2-0. And again, Fernandez, a good hitter. She's leading off for the Coyotes. Going to be disciplined. Now it's a hitter's count, 2-0. And that pitch is called strike. 2-1. Got to see if Mariah Valencia can get out of this jam, end this inning, and let's get the Lopes up to bat. 2-1. The pitch. High and outside, 3-1. Again, a hitter's count for a good hitter. The leadoff hitter, Alyssa Fernandez, second baseman. Alyssa from Mesa draws the walk. Alyssa played her high school ball at Red Mountain High School in Mesa. And the troubles continue for the Lopes. Runner at first and third, 1 out. Center fielder, Camille Fowler. Fowler is 0 for 2 on the day. Lined out to left in the first inning, grounded short to first to end the 3rd. And now batting right again in the 4th inning. First pitch outside for ball 1. Boy, I keep thinking about that error that really changed this inning. It's kept things going.
Could have almost got a double play there. Maybe we'd be walking away. Shea Smith let that one go through her legs. And in turn, Coyotes have scored 5 runs.
It's a big inning, big inning. But the Lopes have big innings in them as well, so let's see if they can come back. That pitch, swing and a miss by Camille Fowler, 1-1. Valencia with the pitch. Popped up behind home plate. Squared as if to bunt, popped it up. 1-2.
Valencia isn't done though, got some work on her hands. Runners in the corner, she's still only got 1 out. There was that leadoff fly out by Winkler, who's on deck now.
And the pitch outside.
So everyone has reached safely so far this inning, except Fowler and Winkler. Fowler's at the plate. Winkler's coming up for the second time.
And I'll tell you, as a hitter, when your team is batted around and you're the only one who made an out, you're really focused not to make another one. Boy, that pitch just outside. No, correction, that was called third strike. I didn't see the arm go up.
I didn't either.
Interesting call, but a called third strike. The Lopes will take that. That's the second out of the inning. And again, as JP said, Emily Winkler, the designated player, now batting. Again, she started the inning with a fly ball to right field. Coming up, that pitch just inside. 2 outs, runners on first and third. Big inning for the Coyotes. They've scored 5. And the pitch popped up. Shortstop Shea Smith makes the catch. So as we kind of talked about, Emily Winkler makes 2 outs in the inning. But around that, the Coyotes sandwich a 5-run inning. JP?
Support the dance department at the Spring Student Spotlight Dance Concert. Enjoy inspirational choreography performed by GCU students and celebrate the arts March 13th and 14th in Thunderground. So Liska will continue pitching for South Dakota. She's been having a really good game so far. 49 pitches through 3 innings. Only allowed 4 hits. Like we said, she doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, but she finds a way to get the job done.
Well, and we'll have to see if her mindset changes a little bit. It's a little bit different when you're pitching from a deficit and when you're pitching from a lead. I think she can go out there a little bit more loose, throw the ball in there again, pitch to contact, and have her infielders make the plays. A little bit different ball game now for the Lopes, down 5-1. 7-inning game. We're about halfway through. Let's see if the Lopes can mount a comeback. And leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Lopes, center fielder Lainey Gomez. Lainey started off her day with a single in the first inning. Takes kind of an awkward swing on that first pitch for strike 1. Lopes scored a run in the first inning. They've been shut out since. I'm no expert, JP, but I think it's time for some runs.
The Lopes are thinking so too, and Pearson would love some.
And the fans here who are making their way out for this doubleheader in this Lopes Up Classic, starting to make some noise. I think they'd like to see some action too. 1-1.
Getting out of their Friday afternoon classes.
And that ground ball right to the first baseman. Jamie Holscher takes that unassisted for the first out of the 4th inning. And that brings up first baseman Bianca Bowling.
Number 8,
Bianca's got some power. We need to get her on base. She ended the first inning with the ground ball to second base. And the pitch fouled straight back. Lefty on lefty. Do you think at this point that's any kind of disadvantage, or has she faced enough left-handers that she's okay?
Bianca Bowling, very experienced batter for GCU. She'll figure out a way to get her team a single that they need, maybe even more. One of the better power hitters for GCU.
And
there it is.
That's in the gap. That's lined right to the base of the fence. We could have a play at second as Bianca gets in there. So nice call on that. He called for a single. She one-ups that with a double.
As I said, Bianca Bowling's got a lot of power. Drives that one, hit the fence first. Didn't even bounce into it. Maybe if she had some wind help or got a little bit under that, could have been 4 bases. And now we're going to see a pinch runner for GCU, Caitlin Acton.
All right, the freshman from Buckeye comes in to pinch run. A little bit more speed than Bianca, so let's see if we can move her around. All right, for the Lopes, we have left fielder number 4, Maddie Dowdle, up to bat. Maddie hit a hard line drive to the left fielder in her first at bat, leading off the second inning. Let's see if she can find a gap. Takes that first pitch low for a ball. Again, at this point, Lopes hitters have to be smart. They have to be somewhat aggressive, swinging at strikes. We need to pile up some base hits and runs together, and that ball is lined down the left field line, just foul. Maddie had a good swing at that one, but foul all the way. And it looks like the volleyball team has even convinced Coach Marley to hold a sign.
He's now holding one of the signs.
It's good to get him involved.
Can't see which one he's holding.
And the pitch. Outside corner called for a strike. Maddie now down in the count 1-2. Once again, runner at second base, 1 out. Lopes need to string some hits together. Coyotes scored 5 in the top of the 4th. See what the Lopes can do to answer. The pitch, ground ball, and that's off the shortstop's glove. No play. That was kind of a tweener between E. Miguel and Underwood.
But heads up base running by Caitlin Acton, staying at second. She took a big lead, was waiting for it, played off the third baseman's glove. Shortstop was able to get behind her and get the ball for her, but tough play, smart running by Caitlin Acton. And now Kenzie Hill will try to advance these runners.
All right, the official scorer calls that an error on the shortstop. And Kenzie Hill lines one to left field. Easy catch for the second out of the day. So again, so far, a double for Bowling, and then Maddie Dowdle reached first base on an error. 2 outs, and that brings up, well, the scheduled hitter is right fielder Taylor Kay. Coach Pearson talking with Joe Coates.
Bringing in Jordan Keaton, number 22 for GCU. Saw Keaton have some pinch hits last weekend. 286 batter and 14 plate appearances. He's got 3 RBIs for the Lopes.
Let's see if we can add 1 or 2 here. Jordan, a right-handed hitter. Takes a look at the first pitch for ball 1. Jordan's listed as a utility player, which means she can play a variety of positions all over the field. One of those valuable players you can kind of plug in to fill some holes. And I can speak from experience, a terrific student. She looks at the next pitch for a strike, 1-1. Jordan was in my Social Justice for Educators class last year. Terrific young lady, as they all are. Just looking at a 1-1 count. Again, let's see if we can make it a little bit tougher for Lisco this inning. That pitch low and outside. Again, after first inning run, Lisco has shut out the Lopes. Pitching, it looks like, with a little more confidence.
Got a lot more confidence. When you got a 4-run lead, you can be a lot more aggressive and do some pitches you normally wouldn't when you're trailing. When you're trailing, you're just trying to keep that lead where it is. But when you have a lead, you're getting real aggressive, trying to make some strikeouts and make some highlight plays. And she's in a jam now, and she could use one.
Absolutely. That pitch was swung on and missed by Jordan Keaton. Again, as we've talked about, Lisco doesn't have a lot of strikeouts. Pitches to contact. And ground ball between third and short. Shortstop on to first. That's Dylan Underwood with a strong throw to Holscher at first. So they do get out of the threat. After the bottom of the 4th, again, we've got the Coyotes 5, the Lopes 1. Lopes with a hit and an error. 2 runners left on base, but no runs in.
GCU offers more than 200 innovative programs across 9 colleges, which now include cutting-edge next-generation programs in engineering, computer science, and information technology. Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university. Visit gcu.edu.
Hello, Phoenix. This is Jerry Colangelo from Grand Canyon University. You can join the GCU community by enrolling as an evening student at our beautiful campus in the heart of Phoenix. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree to take your career to the next level. Engage with industry expert instructors and get the support you need to excel. I look forward to seeing you on campus.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/evening.
And we're back on GCU TV. Lopes taking on the Coyotes of South Dakota. Starting off the top of the 5th, Coyotes with a 5-1 lead. First baseman Jamie Holscher leading off for the Coyotes. Valencia again the pitcher for the Lopes. See if we can shut down the Coyotes the rest of the way and narrow this gap. 1-1 the count. Jamie Holscher 1 for 2 on the day, struck out in the second inning, singled and scored in the 4th. That pitch lined well foul. She took that inside pitch and just got it out of that zone right away. 1-2 the count. Again, at this point with a 4-run deficit, we need to get outs. We need to get a lot of outs. Heading into the second half of this ball game in the 5th inning. The pitch, high and outside, 2-2. Again, not a lot right going on so far. Pitching has been a little suspect. Some surprising errors by the defense. Not a lot of hitting. That fly ball to left field is deep and foul. Fortunately foul, because that had home run distance.
Was a very powerful hit, hitting the top of the outfield net. Almost flew the foul pole. That one might have been about 230, 240.
Yeah, that was well hit. Again, Mariah Valencia not necessarily fooling the hitters, but that was in a good spot. About the only place that she could take that is well foul. So it's a loud foul ball. Still 2-2, nobody out on the leadoff hitter for the top of the 5th. That pitch fouled down the right field side. Out of play. Still 2-2. And the pitch. Popped up again on the infield, and that is caught. Bianca Bowling makes the play. It's a big out to lead off the 5th inning.
It's a smart play by Valencia. Great job getting the out, forcing the pop out. But she got to stay focused. Bocage had her first out of the 4th inning, was a fly out. Still gave up 5 runs.
Exactly. Every batter can do damage, so got to focus with every hitter. And right now we've got the 3rd baseman, Lauren E. Miguel. Having a nice day so far, 2 for 2 on the day with a run scored. Sees that pitch outside. Quickly, a 2-0 advantage for E. Miguel. The windup and the pitch. That's in there for a strike. Much needed strike for Valencia. 2-1 is the count. Again, when you've got that 2-0 advantage, you can afford to take a strike. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 5th. The pitch. Bounces across. Low and inside. 3-1. Again, hitters count. Really like to see our pitchers get ahead instead of behind. Changes the at-bat drastically. Now when you're the hitter, you can look for a certain location, a certain spin, and the pitch. And that's in there. Beautiful pitch. Taken for a strike. E. Miguel seems to be a pretty confident hitter that she can take that 3-1 strike and live for another pitch. Full count. And the pitch. Low and inside, ball 4. So E. Miguel having a perfect day with 2 hits and a walk. Now the runner at first base. That brings up the catcher, Jessica Rogers.
The catcher, Jessica Rogers.
One out in the top of the 5th. Jessica Rogers again also having a good day. 2 for 2 at the plate with a run scored. She was forced out in the second inning after a single, but she did score after her single in the fourth inning. As of right now, that fourth inning is the key inning of this ball game. Turn things around for the Coyotes.
Yep, big 5 spot on that scoreboard out in right center.
1-1 the count. Valencia needs to get out of this inning. We need to shut out the Coyotes the rest of the way. And the pitch. High for a ball. Throw down to first. E. Miguel in easily. Two and 1 the count. Once again, Valencia needs to get ahead of the hitters. And the pitch, fouled off her foot down the left field, down to third base line. Again, a good spot. That's about all that Jessica Rogers could do with it. 2-2 the count. Doesn't look like E. Miguel has any action on the first base line. That ball again fouled. And the count remains 2-2. And the pitch. Another foul ball. She's putting together a nice at bat here. Again, great for the hitter. The pitcher wants quick outs. Fielders want quick outs. Keep everybody sharp. Be nice, let's maybe turn a double play here.
Valencia's already got 27 pitches so far in just 1 inning pitched.
It's a lot of pitches. And that ball popped up right down the left field line, and that's in for a single. Third hit of the day for the catcher. And now again, the Coyotes mounting a little bit of a threat here. Runners on first and second with 1 out.
Number 18.
And now the left fielder coming up to bat, Ashton Blakeman. She's been on twice. First of all with the fielder's choice. Secondly on that error that went right through Shea Smith's legs. So 0 for 2, but she's been on twice with a run scored. So a productive at-bat. Productive couple of at-bats for the left fielder.
She's also had a great game out in the field as well. Ashton Blakeman putting together a nice performance here in her second game of this Lopes Up Classic.
Absolutely. That pitch fouled straight back, up in the netting. Evens count 1-1, but again, another hitter gets an early advantage in the count. Again, Mariah Valencia, a veteran pitcher. She knows to get ahead. 1-1, here's the pitch. Ground ball to second, bobbled. No double play opportunity. Lorianne Olson takes the out at first, but the runner advances. Second out of the inning. Now we have runners on second and third.
She may have still been able to turn the double play there.
Again,
Jessica Rogers kind of held up on first base, held up midway through, and Lorianne Olson was bobbling it. She could have got the out at first, but decided to get the smart play and just go for the one at second or the one at first.
Exactly. Hard hit ball. Handcuffed her for a second. And again, first pitch ball. The batter now, Taylor Steinfeld, who drilled a deep ball to center fielder last at bat. Probably a good decision for Coach Robert Wagner to pinch hit her early in the game. Fly out in the second, and a deep ball to the center field wall in the fourth inning. 2-0, and that pitch is called for a strike on the outside corner. 2-1. Again, Mariah needed that one. I hate to belabor a point, but pitching from behind just puts you at a disadvantage. 2-1 the count. We need this third out here. And the pitch grounded toward the Lopes dugout. It's picked up by Sierra Smith at third base. 2-2. Clutch pitch now for Mariah. You don't want to go full.
Thought that may have hit her in the ankle, but I think it caught the dirt first.
Well, it looked like it. Either way, that loads up the count. Full count, 3-2. Very important pitch here. Either extends or ends the inning. And the pitch, ball 4. Loeb's pitcher's really struggling today, throwing a lot of pitches, a lot of base runners, 5 runs scored. And right now we've got bases loaded with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Loeb's can't afford to let the Coyotes score any more runs. Quick meeting at the mound between pitcher and catcher.
Shortstop, number 2.
And again, that brings up the shortstop, Dylan Underwood. A walk and a single. That first pitch, again a ball. One and 0's the count. Bases loaded, no place to put her. Mariah Valencia needs to come through with a clutch pitch right now. And that's on the outside corner for a strike. Once again, I don't see anybody warming up in the bullpen. Does it look like Coach Pearson is staying with Mariah?
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of options so far. Could go back to Bobo, but going to stick with Mariah and save the other 2 pitchers for the next game against Princeton. I think Mariah coming out in relief shows that Lexi Coons will be the starting pitcher against Princeton.
That pitch is swung on and missed. Underwood tried to check her swing. 2-2. And I know our viewers are probably very familiar with the dynamics of softball. Very often we see these pitchers throwing a lot of innings, a lot of pitches, but it still is wearing. 2-2, low and outside. Loads up the count, 3-2. No place to put her. Mariah really needs to bring a quality pitch right now. Let's get this 3rd out of the inning. Underwood squares as if to bunt, pulls the bat back, swings and fouls it.
This 3rd out would just be big for her momentum, just to get out of this jam, allow no runs. I mean, she came in that 4th inning, allowed a ground rule double. None of those runs were earned for her, however.
Right.
So she's got no earned runs. This would definitely help her to get an out. Even if it was a strikeout, that would help too.
Absolutely. And the pitch, once again fouled for number 9 hitter, Dylan Underwood, putting together a heck of an at-bat. And again, you talked about that, no earned runs because of the errors, but not a lot of consolation in that, is there? And I'll tell you, especially Coach Pearson doesn't take any consolation in that. Her team's given up 5, whether they're earned or unearned. And the pitch, fly ball to left, and that's gonna do some more damage. That hits the wall. We've got runners coming in, and that's a 2-run double for the number 9 hitter.
Dylan Underwood having a game so far. Got a single in her last at bat in the 4th inning, scored 2 runs and then advanced to 3rd on an error. Now she'll get 2 more extra bases.
And again, that makes such a difference when the bottom of the order comes through with hits and runs. Again, we're not out of the inning yet. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. And the leadoff hitter, Alyssa Fernandez. 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded out to start the 1st. Flew out to right in the 3rd inning. And in the 4th inning, walked. Now up again for the 4th time in the 5th inning. Quick meeting at the mound. Base runners also stopped to talk for a moment.
Umpire did not like that.
They kind of like things going by their rules, don't they? Once again, now the Coyotes with a 7-1 lead in the top of the 5th. The pitch, high and outside. I don't have the stats in front of me. I didn't keep track, but it'd be interesting to see how many hitters Mariah Valencia has been behind. A little over an inning worth of work. She's been struggling. And the pitch. That's in there for a strike.
Seems like almost every batter she's been behind.
Seems like it. I know I've said it a lot, probably to everybody's dismay. But when you're down 7-1, you look at things like this. What's the difference between being up 7 and being down 7-1? That pitch out of the zone again.
And last inning, all 5 runs happened with 1 out on the board. This inning, it's going to hurt 2 runs and maybe 2 more. It's all with 2 outs.
Exactly.
For the Coyotes.
Exactly. Good call on that, JP. And the pitch, 2-1 is the count. Line drive right down the third base line. That's a fair ball. That's all the way to the wall. 2 runs scored. You called it.
Great hit by Alyssa Fernandez. Jogs into second. Standing up on her feet. Scores 2 runs. Back-to-back 2 RBI doubles for the Coyotes. Will give them a comfortable lead up by 8.
Boy, I tell you.
With a chance to close out the game in the bottom of the 5th.
Exactly. Now at the point, you're not only just thinking about getting back in the game, you're thinking about being run ruled. And that is never a good thing. And it looks like Coach Pearson is making a pitching change.
Yessie Morrison will come. She did go to the bullpen a couple batters ago. Just got a little bit of work in there. Yessie Morrison has come in for relief. 4 games so far. She started 2 games. 0-1 record, 3.65 ERA, 6 strikeouts for GCU. She's only allowed 7 hits and 7.2 innings pitched. Positive note for GCU, and they're going to need her to get out of this inning.
Absolutely. Yes, he is a freshman from Grand Terrace, California. And we're putting the freshman to the test. Runner in scoring position in a game in which the Lopes are well down, 9-1. Her warm-up pitches looks like she has a variety of change of pace pitches. A lot of movement on those pitches already. A couple of them, unfortunately, have gone to the backstop. Like to see her throw strikes. Again, the big factor in pitching is getting ahead of the hitters, putting the hitters on the defensive, making sure you have the advantage. All right, center fielder Camille Fowler up to bat for the 4th time in the 5th inning. Again, she's maybe the one spot the Lopes have had the advantage. She's 0 for 3. Takes a look at the first pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, the next 2 hitters for the Coyotes, 0 for 3 and 0 for 3. Fowler and Winkler having a rough game, but the rest of their team has been firing on all cylinders.
Boy, they sure have been. And a little bit of a quirky delivery from Morrison. Falls behind 2-0. Quirky or not, she's got to throw strikes. She's here in a tough situation. Lopes are down 9-1. That pitch is in there for a strike. Two and 1 on the count. Camille Fowler, no hits on the day, but she's playing a strong center field. And the pitch. And that's fouled behind home plate. Evens the count at 2.
Lopes are going to have to find a way to get out of this inning. 2-2. 1 more strike, and then they're going to have top of the order coming up. They're going to have to find a way to get a run around if they want to keep this game going.
Absolutely. And again, at this point, are you thinking just play for some pride, be competitive? Obviously, you still want to win the game. Realistically, they have a lot of work to do. Count is full. And the pitch. Line shot into center field. Again, 2 runs are going to score. That gets past Lainey Gomez. And we've got a runner going to 3rd. Got a base hit and an error.
The ugly fielding for the Lopes continues.
And again, base hit, that brings in the runs, but that error advances the runner to 3rd base. Again, Coach Pearson, I'd hate to hear her post-game comments right now.
Not going to be happy, but it's almost a good thing that this game is happening at 2 o'clock as opposed to the 4 p.m. game. As they get out of that inning, they're able to flush this one down the toilet and quickly start the next game. They don't have to think about this game too long.
Exactly. You got to have a short memory. That last out of the inning, Shea Smith to Bianca Bowling, wraps up a 4-run inning for the Coyotes.
GCU TV's latest series is here to answer your questions. Watch new episodes of Ask GCU every week on youtube.com/GCU and tweet all your GCU related questions to Ask GCU to get your question featured. Another 5 spot in the 5th inning for the Coyotes. Just 2 innings that the Lopes slipped up and let this game get away from them.
Absolutely. Things are not looking good for the Lopes in this one. Disappointing to see because they have been on that roll. You talked about that 6-game winning streak. They had the momentum after a tough opening series. But again, the nature of softball, they play about 60 games in the year. And when you play that many games, you're going to have a couple of bad ones.
Yep, the bad ones are going to slip in there, and of course, pitchers are going to have some bad games, and Bobo had one this game. Valencia followed her up with a couple more earned runs of her own. And the fielding's not having a good game either. Some rare errors by Shea Smith. Center fielder Lainey Gomez has let the ball get by her a couple times. Just an ugly all-around game. And not really. I mean, I say ugly all-around game, but ugly 2 innings for the Lopes in the 4th and the 5th. They were playing very well in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
They sure were. They were holding on to a 1-0 lead. All of a sudden, they're down 10-1. So the bottom of the 5th, we've got the leadoff hitter, Shea Smith, leading it off for the Lopes. Got some work to do. And the pitch. Called strike.
Shea Smith hasn't been to the plate since the 3rd inning. Seems like an eternity ago. She's got on with 2 singles, but then been out on 2 fielders' choices.
Exactly, both 6-4 in the scorebook. See if we can do something. And again, she takes a bunt attempt at that one. Now is down 1-2 in the count. Again, statistically, Shea Smith has to be feeling good. She's hitting probably 420, 430. Outstanding batting average. Doesn't feel quite so good being 2 for 2 on a day that you're down 10-1. And the pitch.
Doesn't feel quite so good either. She has the air that kick things off. Let a hard ground ball get through the middle of her legs, and here we are, 10-1.
Yep, things like that happen quickly.
Lopes are going to need 2 runs in this 5th inning to keep things going. That's not a good start. Strikeout for Shea Smith.
Exactly.
Lisco looks under control.
Tell you what, she sure does look confident, doesn't she? Again, as you talked about, 0-3 on the season, +7 ERA, not many strikeouts. She got a big one there on the Lopes leadoff hitter, Shea Smith. Followed us up by Lorianne Olson, second baseman. And the first pitch lines out to left field for the 2nd out of the inning. Again, we barely have time to introduce her as the hitter. Takes that first pitch. Again, an aggressive approach, which you don't necessarily mind.
1 pitch at bat, but looks like some of the Lopes in the dugout have some high hopes. They got their reverse caps on, rally caps. You know, they're just hoping for the best.
Absolutely.
And when push comes to shove, you just forget about this game and focus on the next one.
Nikki Gonzalez, the hitter, the designated player. She's hit by a pitch. And she takes first base. Maybe that's something that'll start this rally. Again, they've got the rally caps on, and nice thing about the team, they're always optimistic.
Pinch runner coming in for Nikki Gonzalez, keeping the strategy up. Ann Pearson showing her players that, hey, we still got to focus here. We still got to do the right moves.
Absolutely.
And the right move is to bring in the pinch hitter, Kamale Santiago.
And again, Kamale now is a student in my class this year. She's in my cultural diversity class, a terrific young lady from Waianae, Hawaii. Sierra Smith, the hitter, takes first pitch inside for a ball. Again, runner at first, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th, Lopes down 10-1. Lined into right field. That ball hit sharply for a single. Sierra's first single of the day. She's now 1 for 3. Kamale Santiago advances to second base on that hit. And that brings up the center fielder, Lainey Gomez.
Center fielder, number 11.
Laney is a senior from Gilbert. She's got a lot of pride. She doesn't want to make this last out of the inning. And again, as that hitter, now try to make up for that error, but she grounds ball to second base. And Alyssa Fernandez with that throw on to first base for the third out of the inning.
Rough performance for GCU here so far, but they'll have a quick opportunity to respond at 4:30 for the game against Princeton.
And again, with the run rule, the final score of today's game is University of South Dakota Coyotes 10 and GCU Lopes 1. Fans, thank you so much for watching today's game. We will be back at 4:30 to continue with the Lopes Up Classic. So be sure to tune in once again, 4:30, as the Lopes take on Princeton. Lopes are taking on Princeton. Again, the final score of today's game, University of South Dakota Coyotes 10, Grand Canyon University Lopes 1. We'll be back again at 4:30 for the Lopes and Princeton Tigers.